Here we are, a new run. So this is the Strawberry Gary. These are clones from Mr. Clones. If you want to look those up, you can go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, we can't post any links or URLs, but you know what's up. So this will be we're probably going to be keeping one of these two to go forward into the 2x4 over at the flower location. Again, this is a seed to harvest on these clones. The only things we've done so far is receive them, take them out of their packaging, which is really cool. If you go back and watch the main stage, we do the unboxing of that. And along with these, we're going to the other thing we did was we put our microbes, so our bacteria or fungus, into the root zone. We plugged those in and watered it with our solution. Now we've only sprayed everything down in here kind of with water, just keep the humidity going. We're just going to close these up. And we'll bring you back here in a few days. Alright, here we are, Friday. It's been 2 days after we got the clones all set up in the tent. We're looking good. We just took the dome off to take a peek at her, and we're just going to continue to let these plants grow their root system into these pots. Once we have a really nice established root system, we're going to put them into the air pots, and we'll be off to a good start. We're gonna see what we're gonna do. We're either gonna keep this one going, like keep one of them going, or we might split them into 2 different tents on a seed to harvest and finish off that way, because I think we're gonna do some different things. So stay tuned. We're just gonna close this back up for now, and we'll bring you guys back here maybe on Sunday. Take a look at her. So we're here on Thursday on the Strawberry Garys. Now, some of our newer growth is coming on a lot nicer than some of these older ones from where the clones had to begin with. So, other thing I wanted to show you is we're starting to get a little bit more rooting through the bottom. I'm going to have to actually mix up some solution. These all need something. So we're going to actually do a little solution tonight for these plants so they don't dry out too much. Then we will bring you back on the Strawberry Garys, probably not the weekend, maybe Monday. Actually, no, we may see you on Sunday, because Sunday we may do the transplants up to the 1 gallon Airpots. So then we can get out of these little containers and we can get into some larger ones where we can just let them be for a little longer. We're here Sunday, transplant day. Strawberry Garys are going to move their way up. This clone is looking really nice. This one is probably going to go into the 2x4 over the location, with that one 2x2. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our air pots, kind of preset them, get our cocoa into the containers, and then we're going to dump them into this bucket and add some wollastonite. So this is Wolamo. It's a calcium silicate product. It helps for a slow release of calcium and silica into your plant. Got lots of, here's its benefits. You can pause on here and give it a little read down. And here's its guarantee analysis. So because we're doing 2, we're gonna add, it says 50 per 4 liters. That's also a gallon if you're from the States. So what we're gonna do is we're going to have 2 gallons. So we're gonna add 100 grams to the container once we get it all ready. So I'll bring you back when we're got all that in the pail and we're ready to mix it up. All right, now that we have our medium in the pail, we got our 100 grams of wollastonite measured out, so Wolamo. And put it in there, do half and mix it up, and then half again. Again, this is a silicate, so you probably want to not be breathing it as much as possible. There we go. We'll just hand mix that in, and we'll get those into the 2 containers with the plants in the hydro cup still potted, so we can make a perfect little spot for our microbes. I'll bring you back at that point though. Alright, now that we have those set, we just simply take out the hydro cups to reveal a perfect little hole for our root. We're going to apply our microbes and mycorrhiza. It's mostly, yeah, the microbes being the bacteria and fungus, sorry. Fungus is the mycorrhiza. And we're just going to take our plants now and pop them in. And now that we have completed that transplant, we're just going to take our risers. We're going to put them inside the trays. And we're just going to hit our plants with our solution. And we'll bring you guys back here maybe Wednesday, maybe a little later in the week to see get the kind of the progress on these. But we're going to be wanting to clean up some of these lower leaves sooner than later. But we're just going to wait a few more days. We're going to start thinking about topping on both of them soon as well, because they are going into the 2x4 and the 2x2, which are the plants need to stay lower, unlike with the main stage where those can get as big as they want because they get spread out more. These ones you got to control more off the start. So bring you guys back in a few days. That's the transplant, and the growth has been much nicer since the transplant. They're definitely enjoying the medium that they're in. The velocity that we added is adding a good amount of calcium and silica and a bunch of others. There is a lot of other nutrients in the micros that are on there. This one's doing really nice. This has been a beautiful cone the whole time. So we're gonna be putting that one in the 2x4. This one's gonna go into the 2x2 once those tents are available. And we're gonna kind of run this seed to harvest on 2 separate plants in 2 different environments. So we'll see how she goes. We're here Sunday on the strawberry Garys. We got a nice amount of development coming out of these plants. We're gonna top them today, and we're gonna kind of tie down the tops to keep them nice and low. We might clean up some of the lowers. We're not gonna have to go as high as we do on the Grey Goose, because these ones go in with the hydrolox. They have to have a certain amount on this side, but we're gonna want to make sure we get rid of some of these really low stuff. I'm gonna put you guys up on a time lapse while we do that. I'll bring you back when we're done. So that's what we're gonna sit at for now on the strawberry Garys. This one we pulled down quite a bit. This is gonna go into the 2x2. This one again into the 2x4. We cleaned up the lowers a bit. We keep them down and been topped. So we're just gonna finish off by using some optic foliar on our leaves. And we're gonna raise up those probes so they're not sitting directly in the plant. And we're gonna bring you guys back here maybe midweek. We'll go over kind of how she looks. See you then. Here we are on the strawberry Garys. They're doing really well. We're gonna come in here today with our pipe cleaners. We're going to remove the strings that we attached on the weekend when we didn't have the pipe cleaners, and we're gonna replace them with the pipes. And we're also gonna start bringing down some branches similar to what we did to the gray goose, just to keep everything nice and level and ready. So we'll do that on a time lapse. I'll show you guys then. All right, here we go. After we've tied them down, we also brought down a lot of the branches, which is kind of what we wanted to do once we got the pipe cleaners involved. Now we're just going to continuously maneuver these pipe cleaners out, so as they grow up, we're just going to slide them out further, keeping everything nice and low and flat. For this one's going to the 2x4. That plant's being harvested in 3 days on Friday, so we'll have that drying time, and then this will be in its home within 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from this weekend. This one will be in its 2x2 in 3 weeks, so we got some time in here, but not much, because those tents are coming down quicker. And then once they are out of here, then we have some room for the gray gooses, because they're gonna need maybe 5 or 6 weeks in here until we're ready for them. So we'll leave you it there for now. We might bring you guys back here on Friday to see the progress on kind of see how these are looking. I won't be in here on Saturday, that's why we might do everything on Friday instead. So I'll catch you guys then. We're here Sunday on those strawberry Garys by Mr. Clones. They're doing really well. We're just gonna hit it with a little of the optic foliar overgrow today. We're just kind of looking to see how the branching has been pulled down and see how she's done with that. And they both have done really well. Now the plant that was in the tent that this one's going to was harvested on yesterday. The ones over here is going to get harvested next weekend, so those tents are going to be available relatively soon. Next weekend, we're most likely going to be transplanting these ones up to the 5 gallons to have them ready for the flower tents. But we'll bring you guys back here maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday and kind of see how she's doing. We'll maybe bring some of the branches down then too. We are here on the Thursday checking on those strawberry Gary clones. This one right here obviously needs some water. She's looking a little light there, so we'll probably feed both of them today. You might bring down some of these branches a little bit more, make them nice and flat, level them out, kind of like what we did to these gray goose clones as well. But these are looking great. Here we go. We did a good job bringing them down. That one over there, the one that was pulling down the main top, obviously popped off. I didn't see on the backside, so we brought it down a little better again. We're just gonna mix up a solution and feed these, and we'll be back on Sunday to show you these Mr. Clone clones. The strawberry Garys are looking really good. And I spray all my vegging plants with optic foliar on Sundays, so we'll go over that too, like we always do on Sunday. I'll catch you guys then. Alright, we're here on Sunday on the strawberry Garys. So these are actually going to be in their flowering tents next weekend. So we want to get these up. We want to transplant them up to 5-gallon Airpots, which we're going to do today. We are going to be making sure we have the wollastonite in the containers. So we're going to be filling up how much we need into our pail, mixing it up, getting our the medium ready before going into the container, just like we did in veg. And I'll bring it back once we're kind of all mixed, and I'll show you then. All right, now that we got that completely mixed up, good to go, We put our 4 gallons of medium into the bucket, but we did 2 gallons, and then we put in 100 grams of the wollastonite, and then we added another 2 gallons, and then we did another 100 grams of wollastonite, layering it so we don't have anything, mixing it all up, and then doing a final kind of mix at the end. Now we're gonna use our medium. So you can see all the little white specks in there, maybe if I get close enough. Basically the wollastonite all mixed in there. We're going to fill up our container to the point that we need, and we're going to start our transplants. So we'll do this on a time lapse, and we'll kind of show you from this point. And then on the next stage, when we do the next one, we're just going to kind of bring you at this point. We've already kind of explained what we're doing in the medium build. It's basically just can of cocoa along with the Willamo. And one thing you'll notice that you saw in the veg transplants is we're going to add our raw microbes and mycorrhiza to the root hole, so the roots make direct contact with the spores, and we're ready to go. All right, so we won't break it down to show you that. We'll just do that in the actual time lapse itself. We brought some more pipe cleaners because sometimes when you do it here, you need a little extra length in order to reach the branches that we want when we go to the bigger containers. So we seal that, and I'll bring you guys back for the next one. All right, now with that one all finished in the corner, we pre-mixed up our next food. So same thing on a time lapse. We're gonna run it through, we're gonna fill it up, train it down. It didn't look like we're gonna need to add any more. They're low enough that we can just attach to this pot. So you're gonna see that process, and I'll bring you guys back at the very end when we spray it down with some optic foliar, and we'll talk to you then. Alright, now that the transplants are done, we're just going to hit it with a little optic foliar overgrow. Get it all nice and sprayed up. We're also going to mix up a solution. Once we get our container all cleaned up, we're going to feed our strawberry Garys. We're also going to feed the Grey Goose clones by Mr. Clones as well, because they're looking a little dry when I was in here. There we go. And I will bring you guys back here maybe Wednesday or Thursday to check on the progress and see how they're looking. Again, these will be in their flowering tents. This one's probably most likely going to be in the 2x2. It's a little smaller. And the bigger one we'll put into the 2x4, and that's going to be happening next weekend. Alright, we're here on Saturday. Strawberry Garys are now at the flower location. So I believe this is our bigger one. This one we're going to be putting into the 2x4. It's going to be underneath the HLG, the DIY kit, the 260 XL. And the other Strawberry Gary by Mr. Clones is going to be underneath the Spider Farmer SE3000 in the Spider Farmer. This is a 2x2, but it's 28 by 28 inches. That's why we're able to fit the larger light inside the tent. And we're going to run these side by side in a seed to harvest. This will be actually the last seed to harvest that's going to be run here, because I'm going to be doing some changes career wise, and those are actually in place now. And with that being said, I need to use this as a flower and this as a veg, and we're just going to cycle 2 runs because I'm going to need more time to do other things. So that's why we're doing a 2-tent seed to harvest. And it's kind of cool. We'll be able to see what clones will do. Even though they're 2 separate environments, they have a kind of a different fan style. This one's closer to the door, so this tent's actually slightly colder than this tent when it runs. And then of course lighting is HLG and Spider Farmer. So let's get the plants in here, and we'll talk about it, and we're gonna bring them down with the trellis net. All right, from this point, we're just gonna lower the trellis net down and spread out the branches as much as we can. We may also, like in previous seed to harvest in this tent, we may offset the pot so we can spread down and make up some space for any height that will grow out of the branches that we already have. Before we do any sort of training through the net, we remove off all of the pipe cleaners like we did already on this side. As you see, the side set up. We're going to do similar to this side, but this side normally stays more in the center as possible, and we kind of just stretch it out evenly all the way around. Where this, because of the shape of the tent, we try to utilize that shape of the tent as well. So I'll bring you back after you do that stretch down. Alright, so now that we got those, I have offset it a little bit, and we're going to bring it that way. We brought down the net, we stretched out the branches, and we're going to continue to do this over the next couple of weeks before flipping, just to fill in our net on this side. Same over here. This one might get flipped sooner than the other one. Again, we got a dual, we got a single if we need it until they're on the same, but they will be on the same schedule. Right now, we're just gonna mix up a food solution and give them a little bit of food today. Take some pictures, and we'll be back here on Monday. I think we'll come back on Monday, because we won't need to do it in between. So we'll see you guys on Monday on this. Alright, we are here on Monday checking on our plants. We're going to be most likely coming back here on Wednesday morning. We do need to hit this with solution. It's only been 2 days, so these are an every 2 day thing already. So we may go to 3, but we'll have to check. One thing too, this tent feeds this tent, so the humidity in this tent was 60% and this tent was 45%. So you can see the difference in humidity right off the bat between the two. It's just because nothing feeds this tent. This one just soaks it in from the room, and then it passes along. We're gonna just kind of stretch these out a little bit today, and when we bring you guys back on Wednesday, we may have to do the same thing, but we're gonna do that. We're just gonna stretch out a little bit of branching on both of them, and mix up a solution and hit them so that they're happy. And we'll see you guys here on Wednesday. We're here on Wednesday afternoon checking on the strawberry Garys. Looking really nice actually, after we did a little bit of that spread out last time we were here on Monday. We also hit it with solution today. We're gonna see if we can go until Saturday with the solution. So when we come back on Saturday, she may be a little droopy. If she is, then we know she can't go 3 days. So we'll have to make sure that we always have that day in between that we come in there. But for now, I'm trying to keep it to 2 days and see if we can stretch that. Coming to the other side. This is the side that runs slightly colder normally. It's doing well after the spread out is. Got a little drip going on down there. Now we're not going to do any spreading today, but we'll do that on the weekend when we're in here. And we'll also bring our optic foliar with us, because we'll still hit this up with optic foliar up until week 1 or 2 of flower, depending on when the thistles really start shooting out. But just coming here to update you on the progress. And we'll see you guys here in 3 days. We are here Saturday on the strawberry Garys. These are those Mr. clones. So this is the one that gets fed by the other tent. She's doing nice. Really nice. And here's the other one in the smaller tent. And she's a little more stressed. Again, the difference. This one's under a Spider Farmer, and this one's under an HLG. Again, clones, and the only difference in environment is it's the light and position of the room. Whereas this one is closer to the door. This one does get a little cooler temperatures, and the bigger tent often gets a little bit higher because it's being fed by the smaller tent. Right now we're about equal because we're open. We hit them with solution today. They went 3 days totally fine. As you can see, they would be drooping at this point if not. We didn't bring the optic foliar today. I forgot. I will put that into the bag and bring that for Monday. We're going to spray these on Monday because we missed it today. I want to make sure we get that the foliar feeding on our plants. This one, we'll do a little spread out on both of these. See what we can spread out to be. This one most likely is going to get flipped next weekend or maybe even midweek, depending on how much fills up. It's already looking like it's getting full. This one, of course, needs a little more time. We're going to let it totally fill in before we do anything like that. If you guys follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, when I do my Sunday updates on Facebook or my Instagram posts on Saturdays, I'm gonna split these. They are gonna be in the same video, but these, because they're gonna be on different, this is gonna be on flower and that's gonna be on veg for a bit, I'm gonna split them even though they're the same run technically, just to make it easier, so I'm not having bracket what is what in between them. But yes, they're the same run. The video will be the same. So let's spread these out a little bit and I'll bring you back. Alright, so we spread them out pretty good. Some of it might pop back. We'll just continue to train them over the week. The other side. Now, when I was spreading them, we were looking pretty good, but at the same time, I think that this may be a midweek flip, because we can't quite get our stretch over. So we might do this in the middle of the week, depending on the growth, or next weekend. So one of the two, but this is getting flipped within the week, or within the next 7 days, I should say. Now the size, I did pluck off a little bit of leaves too, off the bottom, just to make it easier to get in there with the watering can on both sides. Plus, a lot of those leaves down there aren't going to do very much for the plant now anyways. Alright, I'll take some pictures and I'll bring you guys back here on Monday. Yeah, Monday we'll bring you back at this to check on this. Alright, we're here Monday morning. Strawberry Gary. Now these are doing really well. The temperatures are a little bit cooler now that we got the main stage off. She's drying, so we have a little less temperature being brought up in here from the other tent. But this is where the silica really starts to help the cold resistance. We're gonna hit this with a solution today, and we're probably not gonna even have to come back here until Thursday. We know that from last week when we came, it was Wednesday we came in and we didn't come back until Saturday morning, and the plants were okay with that. So we're gonna do the same thing this week. We're gonna come in today and we'll see you again on Thursday on these. But here's the other one. So this is the one that's closer to the door. She's been a little bit cooler, but again, silica will help the resistance. Oh, we're doing good. We're growing well. This will probably get flipped on Thursday when we come in here. We'll probably do a little stretch out and see how far we can max it out, and then we might even flip it that day. We might not wait till the weekend. It's not enough now to really actually push it, so that's why I'm not doing it today. There are maybe just a couple branches, but if we wait 3 more days, we'll have enough growth that we can really push this to the edges. Back over the 2x4. And she's doing really well. So I will bring you back here in a few more days. We'll make those changes, and we'll probably tuck this plant too on the same day, both of them, because this one again we're gonna have in veg for a little longer. They already are split on the Instagram and Facebook now, So, because this one will be this week and this one will be, so they're going to be on different time schedules. But for the video, we can do whatever we want. I'll see you guys in a few days. We're here Thursday, checking on that one strawberry Gary. This is the one that we're gonna be stretching out today, and we're gonna flip this one today. So this one's gonna be a little bit more ahead of the other one. Let's get this tent open. Oh, she's looking nice too. So pretty happy with how these look. We're gonna do a little spread out this morning, make it nice, try to get a little bit more out of this as much as we can. This one, same thing, spread out, but we're gonna flip this side. So we're gonna bring down our secondary timer so we can keep this one on 18.6, and then of course this one we're gonna put on to 12.12. When I came in, we were at 72 lights on, and it was at 57. The other side, I didn't actually check, but I'm assuming it probably would have been close to about the same range, knowing that we're being fed by the same amount. So let's do a little bit of a spread. I'm gonna bring you guys back. All right, now that we spread it out this side a little bit better, we're gonna continue to do so over the coming weeks. This side is plugged into an independent timer, which is still an 18.6. And we're gonna switch over this timer now to turn off at 11 a.m. So this one is now going to turn off in about 50 minutes time, and we will be on the flower schedule. Once this one catches up, of course, it will be on the same. We're gonna hit these with a solution now so they're ready to go, and we'll bring you guys back here on the weekend and see the progress now being on different times. So we're looking nice and green on these Mr. clones. Quite interested to see how the strawberry Garys work out, and it's kind of cool to have them underneath two different setups here. Alright, I'll see you guys here on Saturday. We are here Sunday this week, because Saturday I actually ended up going out and helping at a grow facility, so I wasn't able to do this on Saturday like we normally do, so change it up this week. But when we came in, this plant was not looking very happy. Still doesn't look very happy. We hit it right away. It was very dry. The main reason what's happening right now is we did increase the intensity of the light on Thursday, and this plant was looking quite a bit better before we did that, so we just dialed it back down kind of to where we were, and made sure that we hit it with solution even before we came on to film. I was into instant kind of let's figure this out mode. It was running at 73 when we before we opened the tent, and it was at 57% humidity. So it's a little low on the humidity as well. I think once we bring the light temperature down, I think we're gonna be a little better. Not light temperature, but light intensity, and we will definitely see the recovery of this on Tuesday when we come back. Coming over this side, we definitely increased intensity a little bit on this side, I believe, but this is the side that we flipped into flower. Yeah, day 3 of flower today. So that might be why this plant's doing a little bit better, because it had, yeah, we increased the intensity, but it's got less hours of light. Let's see. Oh yeah, she still feels like moisture, where the other one, I could even pick it up with one hand. That's how dry it was. So we got our solution set right now. So this is at a 790. It's a 6.1, and it's just the raw A and B flour with the aminos in it. But this is all pre-mixed in the reservoir, so I can just pull from that. We just adjusted the pH back down to range. And just coming here to show you where we're sitting. So this one's looking good. We're not gonna do anything this weekend. Next weekend though, even though during the week, if we have nothing going on afterwards, we can do some stuff. But we'll see how she grows. We'll add that second net at some point to help guide the colas as they grow. And then at some point soon, we're gonna get some of this lower leaf out. But we're off to a good start on both of these. Except for how I fucked this one a little. So this one will come back. We'll see it on Tuesday. The other thing too is we're going to be spraying them too with the optic foliar. I actually mixed a new batch up. Spray this down. This will help it as well. Now I will go underneath and get those leaves, but it's not going to be as redundant. Again, on this one, we're still, even though we're in day 3 of flower, there's no pistil developments yet, so we don't have any stigma to be hitting with this. Everything's all good. Then normally when the stigma start protruding out of the pistil is when I'll stop spraying, which is normally about week 2 of flower. So we got about another week, maybe one more hit with this, and then we'll be off to no spray. So we're here. The lights, I can open this one because it's the veg tent. The lights are off. We're here at nighttime. As you see, she's asleep. This is the veg tent, so I'm not too worried about it. I had this water today. We're here on Wednesday evening. We been pretty busy this last couple days, so we haven't been able to get over to the garden. I was coming over here to buck the 4x8, but she wasn't ready. She still has a little bit of moisture in some of the bigger buds. So we got this one's in veg, this one's sleeping. As you see how it's all down. I just wanted to show you. So we're in the lows. We were at 62% or 62 Fahrenheit, and the other tent sits at about a 58 at nighttime. Now I'm not normally here at this time, so but at least I can see kind of what our nighttime temperatures look like. Now keep in mind, the minute that this tent is bucked and all of this stuff is out and we reset this tent, this light turns on and this entire room heats up again. So we're gonna see that over this next week. Though that's not ready today, that will be ready either Friday or Saturday. It's not too far off, and at that point we're gonna get this online again and our heat should rise. So I just wanted to show you where we actually sit at nighttime, because I know we get a lot of daytime temperature stuff, but nighttime temperature stuff. All right, I'll bring you guys here. If I'm not working at the facility on Friday, I'm gonna be here Friday morning, but I was there today, I was there yesterday, I'm probably gonna be there tomorrow. So we're working it. All right, we're here on Sunday. So I got over here yesterday to reset the tent, and we got the lights on last night. So we're just getting into the warmer. This plant really didn't like how cold it was. Our pH was also a little bit high on our reservoir. I haven't really been here much of the week. I've been working for the last 6 days straight. And we've had other people water it, but I just readjusted our pH, brought it down. And our temperatures are gonna go way up now that we got our big tent back on. So we're gonna be smooth sailing now. We're gonna try to stretch this out as much as we can, but we didn't get much in the way of growth because of the cold. We can maybe get a little bit more tucking, but we're gonna obviously be taking this for even more longer into veg, just to make sure that we're totally spread out and looking good, which we're not right now. However, our flowering plant, on the other hand, is looking a little nicer. This tent, we're gonna put our second trellis net along our edges for turning our colas into. We're also gonna do something with this run. We normally used to do like a week 2 lollipop. We're gonna do the lollipop and the defoliation at the same time on week 3 and try to reduce the stress during the beginning of flower. and try it out. I've had some viewers kind of mention it, and you know what? You can't really knock something until you try it. So I have done it the other way in the past, but then I moved to this, and maybe I'll move back and see if it makes a little difference. It's the fun thing about having some multiple runs is you can try different things. And depending on how it works on this tent, maybe I'll do it, and maybe I'll combine them on week 3 on this one, and then I'll do my normal on this one, and then we can compare. But again, this one's gonna need a little more time, of course, in veg, and to warm up a bit because she's looking a little bit rough. Today, yeah, we're gonna get the trellis net on, and we're not really, it's just gonna be at the top of this, which will look pretty good. And then we'll come in here and in the middle of the week, if we're not working, I'm gonna aim to be here on Tuesday so we can take a look at how she's doing. Even if I have to come over here early before heading up island, I can do that too. Because all I'm doing is kind of just do a little film, a little feed and go. But we will see these in a couple days. Yeah, there's not much of spread that we can do here at all. We might be able to kind of bundled up. All right, I'll catch you guys here in a few more days. So we got a little bit of a spread. I just brought you back to show you we're gonna do the optic foliar spray down, just to make sure that we get it into our plant. We do this once a week. This foliar feeding program is very good. It helps out a lot. And now that we got some heat in this tent, we can actually start to see some growth take off now that we got everything going over here. Same thing on this one. We can still spray and flower up until the point that we start to see the stigma come out. At that point, we're gonna want to kind of back off. And when I say stigma, I don't talk about like the small hairs. I'm talking about clustering of stigma, like when the buds start to develop in week 2 and 3. We're just gonna continue to spray this with the overgrow, and we'll see you guys here on Tuesday morning. This is, by the way, with the second net on. This is kind of the level we're gonna have it at. We took off a few at the bottom, but not much. Not like a lollipop, but just a little cleanup. See you then. Alright, we're here Tuesday morning, checking on the Strawberry Gary clones. So they're doing better. They're getting warmer. We already see a little bit more growth even within those couple days. As we progress into this week, where are we sitting now? We're in the low 70s with the door open, but it's because we are cold right now for some reason. We just can't seem to break this weather. I know everybody's feeling it around, especially North America at least. That's what I know. I don't know other places. But once we get this a little bit warmer into those higher 70s, I think this is gonna do a little better. But our lights off temperatures are not dropping like they used to. Let's see. Yeah, we're only going down to 61. Well, before we did this, we were in the 70, like we were in the 50s. So I think we are back on track. We're just letting this grow out a little bit more. Coming over to the flowering one. After we put the net in there, as you see, we got some more tops starting to grow into that. We are going to, like I said, this one we're not going to do a lollipop. We're kind of going to do it all at the same time. Just try to peel it out and fill it in and see how we can grow out this plant. But we're gonna have to hit both of these with a solution today, which we're gonna do, and that's normally about a 900 ppm and a 6.1, and that's the raw 2-part plus the amino acids. But we'll bring you guys back here on the weekend to see some progress in which we get. Catch you guys then. Alright, we're here on Saturday, check in on those Strawberry Gary clones by Mr. Clones. We gotten a little bit better on the overall structure of how the plant's looking, but we could still do some more work on these leaves. I'm gonna make sure that we're in check. I think this is more of the pH that was happening. Our temperatures in here aren't too bad. Where are we swinging to? Yeah, we're going as low as 64, which is not overly, it's not warm, but it's not overly cold, especially for lights out temp. We're going to spread this lady out a bit more. We're going to see how she looks. We're not going to feed her because she was fed yesterday, but we may get that fed maybe tomorrow at some point. Coming over to the flower side, we're looking really good over here. We may actually be getting in here today and taking out doing that defoliation. I think today would be actually a good day to do that. We got some time to do it, and this is an overly big tent, so we can probably pop this out right quick. I think we were at day 12 or last time, or last Sunday, so we're on par to kind of do it. So let's do some work and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so we stretched this one out. It's looking good. Looks like we got a little bounce back on this one, but we'll continue to stretch this out for another week, I think. We've also cleaned up the lowers a bit. We had a lot going on in here that was unnecessary, so we're just kind of clean that up just to focus the energy on the main layer that we want to stretch out before we flip it. So we're nice and looking good there. She again won't need feed until tomorrow, so that will be done. Let's go on to the other side. So this is the one that we're on day 16 of flower. We did our defoliation today. And we also cleaned up the lowers. We did it all on one day. We did not wait. We did not separate them out. So we're going to continue to allow this to grow over this week into the second trellis. We're going to spread it out the best we can. We may come in here maybe in 2 weeks time, not next weekend, but maybe in 2 weeks time to take off some more of these leaves as we grow up. But you kind of want to leave your upper three sets of leaves on your plants when you're doing this, so they have the energy to kind of, because all of your cellular energy production happens when your light hits your CO2 and creates the sugars within the plant cell, and within that plant cell it then takes that creates sugar that moves from the chloroplast to the mitochondria, and where phosphorus is added into the mix through other processes, and then you get ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, and that's your cellular energy for your plants. So we want to make sure we're leaving some leaves, but we're not taking them all off, and we're going to clean it up in a couple weeks, again, to not do the stress. But again, it's only going to be a few plucks. It's not going to be something hard like I was doing before, where it was the lollipop and the defoil. We'll see how she goes, and if that works out well, we'll do it on this one. If this doesn't work out well, then we'll do our normal thing on this one and see how she does. Alright? So we're just going to spray this down with the optic foliar quickly before we're done here. This will be the last time that this one will get hit with the optic, as we are right at that point now where buds are forming. You normally want to cease to use this in week 3. So we're just starting the week 3. So we're going to hit it this one last time. Boom. Now this one is all on. This one is done for the sprays. And then we're going to spray down our veg one. And I'll bring you guys back here. Depending on what day I don't have work during this week, we'll come in here and take a peek at the progress. And we'll do some spreading of the plants then, and see how much further we can get. Pretty sure that next weekend we're looking at flipping this lady, so we'll both be in flower, and they'll be about 3 weeks apart from each other. So that's kind of cool. We're gonna see 2 kind of different stages, because Normally within 3 weeks you have a couple different, you'll have different stages of flower, so we'll be able to see that. I'll catch you guys during the week. Alright, we're here on Saturday morning checking out those strawberry Garys by Mr. Clones. As you see, with the changes in the environment, we are doing better. The plant's looking a little healthier. Also, we got some good growth upwards. We're going to stretch this out a little bit today, try to see what we can get from side to side. We're looking good on the under side of the canopy too. We're going to keep this plant in veg for another week. I'm thinking we'll see kind of where we get to when we do that stretch out, but we'll most likely be one more week on this. Then we come over to the flowering girl. Now this is 1 week after we came in and we did our leaf strip. We're looking really good in here. She is going to need that little bit of a secondary pull out, but like I said, we're going to give it a couple of weeks before doing that. We're not going to do that right away. We're getting some nice stacking already on this. It's going to be a nice thick girl, I think. I don't think we're going to get much higher up, which is good. We're actually in a really good position for growth right now. These were watered yesterday. It's kind of nice having somebody here that can just pull from the reservoir and feed. We weren't in here at all during the week as I was working the entire week, so we're going to try to get in here when we can. But you know what, if we do go a whole week like this, we're going to see a massive amount of growth. So for today, we're not going to do anything to this lady. We're not going to pull any leaves or anything. We're going to do that next weekend when we're in here, or whatever day close to the weekend that we have off, because we want to make sure that we get the light down the size of these coals a little better, but I don't want to stress it out one weekend after the next. So we'll bring it back after we stretch this one out a bit, and we'll see you maybe during the week if we get a day off. If not, we're gonna see it a week from now. So alright, we're here Friday. We got Friday off, so we're here to check on our plants. This is our vegging strawberry Gary. Won't be vegging much longer. I think we're gonna flip this one on Sunday when we come in here. We're gonna do some tucking today, I think, and we're gonna tuck it out and see how she does. But she's looking good. I think we got some more vertical growth that we can push that tuck a little bit better. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do with this lady. You know what? Actually, no, we're not going to tuck today. We're just going to look at this. I'm going to give it a couple more days. So on Sunday when we're in here, we can tuck and flip the same day. I think that would be more appropriate. We're still going to water her. She needs to be fed. That's what that is going to be for. When we come over here, as you see, our flowering lady does not need to be watered right now. And this might be more of our focus today. We're going to come in here. We're going to do that secondary, kind of pull out some of these leaves. Just to make sure that we get that light going down the sides of these colas and not totally shadow out some of the lower canopy here. We didn't do it last weekend because I wanted to give a little bit of time to recover, but we're going to come in here today and do this. And then when we take pictures on Sunday, it won't be mangled. We'll have a couple of days of recovery for that picture. But she's stacking in really nice. Strawberry Gary. Well, look at this. We got lots of this middle canopy that can do something, so we need to take out some of this these higher leaves to get down to it. So I'll bring you guys back and we will show you kind of how much we did. Again, this one we're just gonna let stay for now. We're just gonna feed it, and we'll come back on Sunday to stretch it out and flip it. Alright, so we took out a decent amount of leaves. Just make sure we got a good amount of flow down to the lower canopy here. Just starting week 4 of flower, or just ending. Yeah, we're in week 4 of flower. We're about to move on to week 5 of flower soon. I'll have the date at the bottom of the beginning of this clip. We're looking good. we'll catch you guys on Sunday, and we'll see how she looks then. Alright, we're here on Sunday, checking on the Strawberry Garys by Mr. Clones. Now, this plant definitely did grow. We did see it on Friday when we were in here, but we wanted to make sure we gave it until today. We're gonna stretch this plant out today. I'll give it a nice little stretch, spread out as much as we can, see what we can do on that. And then we are going to be flipping this into flower. It's time. I think we're gonna do similarly what we did to the other one, by kind of just doing all of the work at the same time on this plant. Since we kind of already got in here and bottomed this plant, we're going to wait until that week of flower, at what point we will take out the leaves and any lowers that aren't going to do much. Bring you over to the flowering girl. So we did a little bit of that cleanup, and we're looking really nice in here. We got lots of room for the light to get down the sides on these, to fill in these colas. And similarly, we're gonna do the same thing on the other one, just in the 2x4. It's looking good in here. I think we're gonna get a good amount of weight over its period of time. So we're just gonna hit these with the solution today, because they're nice and hydrated. And then on this plant, we will go over the spreading and the work before we get to the flip. But for now, I think that we're pretty good on that one. Just showing you what she looks like. And we'll be back here most likely next weekend. It all depends on how the week shapes up for work, but we'll be back to see it. Yeah, see how these ones are much more structured than these ones. These ones are gonna start to fill in now that we got the light being able to reach. So we're gonna see a good amount of the thickening on those. But yeah, let's get the spreading on this plant and get her in a flower too. So all three of her tents, including this one, are all in flower now. Let's grow. Alright, one thing that I decided when I was kind of watering and doing stuff in between, we're actually going to try something different with this plant. We're going to try the strip and flip. A lot of people have suggested me try it, and I think that would be kind of a good thing to try. Especially on one like this, it's really kind of bulky all in here. So I think if we did that and then spread it out, we're just going to put up our second trellis net today as well. Just get it ready to go. We'll see what we can achieve by trying out. So both of these are doing completely different things that I don't normally do. So it's kind of a fun little run with these clones. From this point, we're gonna spread it out and see what she looks like, and then we'll clean up a little bit more of the leafing in case. So I'll bring you back here in a sec. All right. So we got that second net installed. We've stripped out a lot of the leaves. It's the first time me doing this. I don't know how heavy we should go on this, so I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. See how she works out, and see if I like the result. Again, we're gonna get in here on week 3. That's when we're gonna clean up the lowers and take out leaves. Once we're in to the stretch a fair bit, we should be through this net when we start doing that. But I just wanted to come in here and show you where we got to. So we're leaving a lot of sites on just in case they do take off with the light. But we have opened up a lot of light space down the side of here. We're trying to do as best we can to get most of the bigger fan leaves off. Yeah, we're just gonna basically attach this into the other timer, so we'll be on the same time as the small one. And we're both in flower now. Take some pictures, and I'll see you guys here next weekend to see the progress. Just bring you guys in here the next day to show you how we kind of bounced back from what we did. We also increased our light, so right at this layer we're at 40,000 lux. So So when we grow up into the layer, it's similar to what we did on our main stage over there. So I'll bring you guys back here in maybe on the weekend. It'll be a bit of time now, and we'll see kind of the progress between now and then. All right, we're here Saturday, checking on the strawberry Gary, the one that's deeper in flower. She's doing really nice, actually. It's proud to see how she's stacking in here. Really good. Nice development as we progress into flower now. Our side didn't, I thought this was going to reach up a little bit more by the way it was going, but it decided to stop off, but that's all good. It's still getting some good light where it is. Some of these extras. It's just gonna, we'll just have to go through and just casually pluck out some that are blocking. Again, it's going to be very selective and not often. But this is basically, we're going to be watching this until the end now. Let's come over here and open up. So here is Our Lady. That's at day 6 now of flower. This is the one that we did that little bit of a strip and flip on at the beginning. As you see, she's already developing in a lot more foliage as we grow. We are going to come in here and clean this one up. Not today, but maybe next weekend. We're going to maybe check on that because we just hit this one pretty hard last weekend when we were in here, and we're in the middle of flower right now, so we're gonna see how she looks next weekend. So either that or the weekend following we'll do a complete de-leafing. We're gonna make sure that we can get all the light down the size of this plant. I was gonna see how she's doing, but we are gonna leave her today. Again, no watering either. They were watered yesterday, or just a solution, which is, what is it? It's about 1,000 ppm and a 6.0. Our lung rooms are beginning a little bit warmer, but that would be what Friday would be, because I was gone for these days. I haven't checked it yet today though. But yeah, so same plant, different stages of flower. That's kind of a cool way of doing it. That's why I thought this would be a neat idea. Gonna make sure we turn our fan back on because I know the power went off here. And I'll bring you guys back here most likely next weekend. We'll see where the progress has been. But on both of these, we're pretty good just to leave them be this week. So I'll catch you guys here in another week when we're gonna get some work done on this plant. We're here on Wednesday, checking on the strawberry Gary, the one that's deeper in flower right now. Kind of see how she's doing. Got great stacking development. The GoPro is charging at the house right now, so we're on the iPhone. Look. Starting to develop quite nicely. You gotta hit it with solution today. We're gonna be checking the reservoir before we do that. Let's come over to here to the one that's just entering flower. And she's just getting up to the net now, looking really good. We're just gonna kind of let this lady go today, of course. I don't think we got much of the spread going on. There's gonna be a few. We're gonna be at work for a few days. We most likely won't be here for another week or so. Maybe midweek next week. So during that time, we're gonna be able to lots of growth, lots of branch growth through the upper net. When we come in here next week, though, we are gonna do a good strip out. We're gonna open up this canopy really nicely, and we're gonna see how this plant can do. Judging by how she's doing on this side, I think she's gonna do really nice with the space that we have available in here. But for today, we are gonna leave her. We're not gonna do much besides give her some nutrients. I'll bring you guys back here next time. Looks like in about a week's time. We'll see where we're at. All right, we're here Saturday, checking on those strawberry Garys. As we go deeper in flower, we're starting to pick up more and more size on these colas. We're looking really nice in here. Good amount of frost. We got our fan on the bottom blowing up right now to go through the canopy, which is doing a good job. Now we're not going to do much on this plant today, but this plant could use a little bit, actually. They could use a little bit of a cleanup on some of these leaves, but it's not overly aggressive. It's smelling really nice. I'll come over to this lady. So she, judging by how these leaves are looking, it's a little on the dry side. She's drying up now. We are gonna hit her with the solution. We're gonna hit them both with solutions today. See, I could probably lift this with one hand. Yeah, I can. So we're gonna make sure she's nice and hydrated. We are gonna come in and we're gonna strip out leaves on this one today. I want to open this up. This is pretty, we need to get some light down this canopy. This one, again, we're gonna kind of leave. I'm gonna maybe pull some more, a couple more out, but there's no point kind of bringing it back for the amount that it's gonna come out of here. Next weekend we may take a little bit more. This guy can come out. This one's gonna be blocking this one too. But yeah, it's just gonna be something like that. But we'll set you up. We're gonna do a little strip out here and bring you back when we're done. All right, so we come through and we did that leafing, just opened up the spots. I know we did a little bit early, but we were really quite thick and dense with leaves, so just wanted to try to get some of that out of there. We are going to allow this to grow into flower now over the next few weeks, and then we will hit it again maybe at the end of week 4 on this one. We'll see how fast these develop. We will want to do another little cleanup, but we're going to do it when it's necessary. We want to try to let this plant do its thing as much as we can. But a lot of these lower bud sites would have been completely blocked out by those leaves, and we would have just had a few of the tops. So at least this way we can try to maximize what we can get out of this plant. Take some pictures and then we'll be back next week or midweek to take a look at how they're doing. So I'll see you guys then. We're here on the Tuesday morning. I got the day off of work, so I'm in town today checking on the strawberry Garys. We're gonna start with the further in flower one first. She's looking really nice right now. Out. Pretty happy with the way she's stacking in there. And this is the one that we did the cleanup on the last time. Here we're looking. Now that was we did a really early defoliation. We'll do a little cleanup in a couple weeks. We're not going to touch it for a few weeks now. Let her kind of grow in and do her thing. We have opened it up a lot. You see the lowest part of the canopy is still pretty dense. I'm okay with that at this point, but in a few weeks we will clean up and really cut down the leaf that's on the bottom. But right now we can kind of get it at that lower canopy and get it in and get it more dense. You see some of this is already starting to happen. If you can do it early enough without stressing out too much on the plant, and you can get a little extra cola growth into, or just cola options I should say. So we're doing really well on the strawberry Garys. This should be coming up. I'll have the date at the beginning of when we first flicked over to this plant. But we must be coming up to the end of week 3 now, which is good. And this one's just cruising along. So we'll see you guys in here on the weekend if we have the weekend off. Oh, drop the broom. If not, as close as to the weekend as possible. Alright, we're here checking on the later flowering strawberry Gary that we have first. She's late enough that we're actually gonna probably come here and check on those trichomes. Oh. I'm getting pretty milky. So from this point forward, this plant I think is going to be going to the 50-50 solution the first little bit, and then after that we'll go to straight water for the last 7 days. But I like to kind of reduce it down and then out. Come over to the other lady. So this one's on day 20. So this one is kind of just starting flower, but she progresses really fast. That one's on day 51, and this is day 20. So things will change quickly. I wasn't gonna do any leafing. I was just gonna kind of let her go, but looking at how dense it is, I think I might actually still do that. And then we might hit it again next week. Like to do a nice proper one on it, because we also got some small stuff down here. I might, well, wait till next week to kind of clean that up. But we'll take out some of these larger top leaves that are kind of growing back in, that are preventing some of this lower to do anything. So I'll bring you guys back here. Alright, for today, we're just going to leave it there. We're not going to go too far down. Next week, we're going to come and clean up a lot of the lowers, and then do another little bit of a leafing on the plant to make sure that we got lights down the colas, but enough leaf to still generate cellular energy, which is important as well. I could just keep going, but we did do a bit last weekend, so I'm gonna try to let this plant kind of do her thing as much as possible, even though we did just take off a bunch. And I'll bring you guys back here next weekend or midweek if we have a day off like we did last week. We're here Sunday, checking on that strawberry Gary. So this is the one that's a little not as far into flower. We're gonna come in today on this one, and we're going to pull out a little bit more leaf along the bottoms and clean up the lowers, like because we haven't done that quite yet. We may take out a couple of these on the top, but for the most part we're looking good. You see down the side here, we're looking nice on these upper colas. It's gonna be mostly the lower work today, and like I said, just maybe a few on the top end. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna work on harvesting the 2x2. That is today. Well, let's focus on this part first, and then we'll save the harvest for last. All right, so we came in, we cleaned up the lowers. Another thing that we did is we spread out a lot of these tops. Just seeing if this kind of opens up more of this canopy a little bit more, so we can get a little bit more light down, take a little less off, and just try to spread out the plant a little bit. Just try to maximize what we can get in here. We've taken off of these. That was leaf from other stuff too. But I'm gonna clean up that before it becomes an issue as well. Yeah, I really think that doing this will allow us to maximize down the size of these without taking off too much. We did remove a lot of like the squiggly bottom shit that really doesn't really go very far out of this stuff. We got rid of a lot of that shit, but we're gonna have fun on these last weeks of flower as this starts to really fill in. As we noticed when we watched the one that we're taking down right afterwards, it likes to fill in fast. So it's a good time to do this. And we'll bring you guys back here on this plant on next Saturday. But let's get to the 2x2. Let's pull down the older strawberry Gary. Not older, but just older in flower. All right, we're here. Day 59 of flower. Checking on that strawberry Gary. This cultivar is set to go for 8 to 9 weeks, which would be day 56 to day 50 to day 63. I remember at one time I was mentioning that we might take this for another week, but no, this is done. We're going to be harvesting this plant today. So first things first, we're going to come through, we're going to take out the lower trellis net first, get that out of the way. We cut this one away and we pull it out. The top one we just kind of sleeve our plant through. We're going to pull it off in branches and hang it in this tent. We're going to slide our light up and out of the way, and we're just going to kind of hang off of both sides. Yeah, he's looking really good in here though. All right, let's get some trellisness out of here and I'll bring it back. All right, now we've got it out of the tent. We had our light off. We just removed most of the trellis net out here. It's a little easier to deal with than in the corner. We got our fan on but facing down. It's going to be away from the colas hanging. We got a few hangers hanging up. Now we're just going to take off each individual branch and just hang them from the hangers. We're looking good in here. Good weight, and it smells really nice. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to turn out. We'll bring it back when we're all hanging, but I'll put you on a time lapse when we do this. Alright, now that we got those all chopped, we got them hanging, we may move this one back to the other side just to even it out. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. Again, the fan is, we're going to even face it downwards a little bit more just to make sure that it's not going to be blowing on any of these larger or longer colas, I should say. Now, see how this root development was. Now this is the smaller of the tents, but sometimes we get some nice roots on this. Boom. She's looking real nice. Yeah, and it's just loaded with roots throughout the cocoa. You won't be able to save the cocoa after using these Airpots. So we will bring you back, show you the dry over the time. Most likely just gonna have this set, and we're gonna come back when we check on the reservoir midweek and make adjustments as necessary. We might not film at that point, but we will film when we come to check on the other strawberry Gary next Saturday, and we'll check on to see how dry these are and talk about any changes that happened over the week. We're gonna start this off with a bit higher of a fan, just to make sure that we're gonna be sucking out most of the moisture to start. And then we're gonna bring that down. Most likely bring that down when we come to check on the pH on the Wednesday or Thursday before I come to work, just to make sure that we're good to go. We are here on Saturday. So this would be because we were here on last Sunday, so this would be day 6 of the dry. That being said, it's not ready. It's not ready to come down. We are going to be having to come in here after work one day during the week. Most likely we're going to wait until Wednesday, just to make sure, because this stuff is cool. Some of the stuff is pretty wet, and some, especially up here too. So we're going to leave this for a few more days in here, and then we will and we're gonna relook at it on Wednesday. I don't think enough stuff is gonna change between now and Monday. That's the reason why we won't. And Tuesday's the live stream. I won't have time to be able to come in here, so it's gonna we're just gonna do it on Wednesday. All right. Now we'll go look at the one that's still in flower. All right, we're here Saturday, checking on the other strawberry Gary. This is the one that, of course, is still alive. We just fed it a solution. We're at 2.35 EC, and it was a 6.0. Like 6.02 or something like that. Yeah, 6.02. Now that I got the new Blue Labs, I can be really accurate. Have to be using that again, and actually, you know, to rely on my meters. Got that. One other thing to say too, before, we're not going to do anything to this plant. We're just going to kind of take pictures and just kind of look at her. She's got a lot of work done to her in the last few weeks. We're just going to let her be now. When this tent is going to get one more reservoir fill, when that one is complete, we're going to be mixing the Jack's nutrients. We're switching it up, and we're going to be going to Jack's. We have the bloom food here already, because this one is going to be mixed up when that's on to like onto the leach, and then getting out all the stuff. This one can't be fed that, so we're going to feed it that for the last little bit, and it's going to be switched over. I'm going to do it mid-flower. I normally don't like doing that mid-flower, but I really just don't want to mix up any more of this stuff. That's supposed to be a powder. So, but we're looking really nice in here. That spread out that we did at the end, I'll actually get that leaf out. That's really just going right into that. That last little spread out that we did really opens up some of these colas, and then also makes some of the ones lower a little more available. So we'll see what happens over this last bit of flower. I'll bring you guys back here the evening that we do the bucking on here, because we need to get this tent out of the way as well. This tent's stained. This is going to be the veg tent. We're just going to have it nice and clean and be nice and fresh and ready. And then for the main stage once this seed harvest is done, because it's going to feed a bigger tent. We're going to get a bigger tent here. That's leaving. So lots of things are going to happen post after this video is released. Oh man, that smells yummy. But I'll see you guys when we do the bucking. Alright, we're here on the Monday actually. So we're a lot better. We're a lot more ready to take this down now. So we're gonna take this down today. We're just gonna we're not even gonna buck it up. It's after work. I literally just wanna go home. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw these individual branches into a 5-gallon pail, seal it up. We're gonna take it over there, and then we're gonna dismantle this tent, as this tent's no longer gonna be used here. We're gonna be making some more space. We're gonna get some more power in this room. So this tent's gonna go. You're not gonna see it here anymore when we're showing the 2x4 and the other strawberry Gary as she finishes. But let's get all this into a container, and we'll see how much she fills up. And I'll bring it back when we get into a container, and then we'll see you on the weekend when we come in here to look at how the other strawberry Gary is doing. The light's off, so we can't see it today. All right, let's get to it. All right, now that we got them down, we just put them in the bucket for now. We're gonna put a lid on this. We're gonna bring it back to the house, and then we're going to kind of let that sit in the bucket for a little longer, just kind of let it ripen up a bit. And then we're gonna buck those up, and we're gonna get to trimming maybe on the weekend. We'll see where we're at. But one other step that we're gonna do though, when we're back at the house at some point, we will take this off the sticks, and it will just be buds in the bucket. I'm just kind of in a bit of a hurry today, so we're just gonna try to get what we can over, get this down, and I will bring you guys back. Like I said, we'll come back on the weekend on the 2x4, but maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, I'll bring you back once we get all these bucked up and off, and we'll see exactly how much we have in that bucket to work with. Because there's a lot of stick in there right now. It would not be this. It's probably maybe up to here, I think, of actual buds. But we'll see when we get there. We are here on Monday, and this is actually a week. It's been a while. It's been a long week at work. So it's been over a week since you've seen these last. We're still doing good. Even when I was saying that we had the PM problem in the big tent right now, this is still clean. As you can see, as we look all the way around, there is nothing going on this tent, which is good. That's because we've been working on this one before we work on anything else. You want to make sure that you separate the issues. If there's an issue in that tent, that's the last fucking tent that I'm opening and touching. We're not gonna touch this one and then touch this one, because you're gonna fuck this one then too, right? So the best thing you can do is work on the healthy side of anything before going over. These are in the same lung room, and you can't contain it. This is fucking unfortunate. I'm angry about this, if you can't tell, but we're doing everything we can, and we're doing well. Our plant's staying healthy, we're staying proper. As we recall, the last one we took down on day 59. So we're getting through flower now, we're doing good. We have the other ones they're still bucked up, but they're off the sticks now in the container. They're just ready to be trimmed. I might do that today if I have some time, after I'm done doing some editing, and just sit in the living room, hang out with family, and bring up a trim bin and start on it a little bit. But for today, we're just gonna hit this with solution. I haven't even checked it on our meter yet. Let's just see. I may need to do an adjustment. As you see, the 6 is going down. If that 6 hits between 6, I like to hit it around 6.1. So if we're in the 6.1 range, for cocoa later on in flower, I like that to bring the phosphorus up a little bit. Yeah, see, we're good. This is a 2.51 EC, and just basically around a 6 on the pH. Oh, a little lower than that. So We'll let that do her thing a little bit here. I'll see how she's doing. Ooh, we are a little low. I thought we were a little high on the pH, but this keeps on dropping. Let's just make sure that we're getting... Yeah, we're a little low. I gotta bring that up. And then we'll feed this. And I will bring you guys back here a lot sooner next time. We'll be here on Friday. I think that's the day that we're taking this tent down. We're gonna get in there today and do a massive leaf strip, really late in flower, just take off everything that has shit on it, and then on Friday we're taking the plants down. So I'll see you guys in 4 or 5 days. All right, we're here on the Friday. Now I know we were only here on Monday. We're just coming to check on our strawberry Gary, the one that's still alive here. Still looking good. She is still PM free, which is great. Everything is holding up, even with the other one that's going on. That's coming down today. We're looking really good in here. Today will probably be the last day that we feed this plant. And then we're gonna start our flushing solution. Probably not even a solution. We're probably just gonna go to, yeah, we'll use enzymes on this one. Forgive me, yeah, we'll use some enzymes on this one. We're gonna do it that way for the first week or so. But today will be the last day we feed it. We did give it Jax when we were here on Wednesday morning. We gave it Jax plus a little magnesium sulfate. And we'll give it Jax again today. And I'll bring you guys back here in a couple days and see how she looks. Alright, we're here Sunday. It's been a little bit of time. This is day 56 of flower. I think last time we were in here was on day 47. We're gonna be taking these down on Friday. Even though they're looking pretty much there already. We're just gonna see what they'll do over these next couple of days. We'll get these down and hanging up. When we do that though, we're hoping for that day so we can actually get, because all of this is gonna come down as well, and we're gonna get this tent over there. We're gonna get everything over there because we're gonna get the oil tank out of here. So that's the plan. So we're gonna take these down that day once we kind of get everything out of the way, and then we can just move everything. But we're looking good. And like I said, we're looking pretty much there now, but we just don't have the day set up to do it. So we will we'll get at this about 4 days from now. But we're looking good throughout this canopy. Pretty happy with it. We just gotta hit it with a solution, and I'll bring you guys back here on the chop. Alright, we're here to weigh in the first of the strawberry Garys. This is the one grown in the smaller 2x2 tent. We're looking pretty good in here. We're gonna get a nice close-up picture so you guys can kind of see what she looks like. We're gonna have that right here as we always do. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our scale, get us at 0. As you see, it's already been tared to the weight of the bowl. And we're just going to dump. Alright. We got 126 grams. That was a smaller yield than normal. I knew that kind of as we were trimming it up, but still can't complain with a little bit over a QP in a 2x2. And there's some nice looking buds. Alright, now let's see how we do in that 2x4. That one is going to be that one's coming up to the harvest. We're going to be harvesting that on Friday, and then have her dry, and we'll see how much strawberry Gary we have in total. Alright, we're here Thursday instead of Friday. I actually been working on my car the last couple days, so I'm working on tomorrow instead of having tomorrow off. So I'm just coming in today to get this done so I can get to it and not have to miss it. I believe that we're doing this, I believe it's day 60, but I would have had the right day at the bottom around about that time. We're looking really good. We're looking really there. So we're gonna come in, first things first, we're gonna come in, we're going to cut out that lower net, then we're going to lift the upper net, get our plant ready for the harvest, and then we will bring you guys back before we do the chop. I'll set you up maybe on a time lapse over there. We're getting this whole area ready for getting the oil tank out on Monday. So we're gonna dry these. We're gonna take this tent down, but we're gonna dry these just in here off of these hangers. We have some air blowing right now, but I may turn that off or may move that a little lower so it's not going to be directly on our plants. We have this off and we have the intake on. So I'm going to go in here and cut that out and bring it right back. Alright, now that we've gotten to this point, we're going to just cut the branches as necessary. We're going to hang them. I'm using my broom right now just because the other stuff is all put away right now. And if we need more hangers, we'll use more hangers, but we're gonna hang them up here, and then we're gonna move them into the tent. Because we're hooking around the light, we're probably gonna utilize the these little clips just so we don't drop. It sucks when you if you have a hanger that falls off of something because it's like a wide light. So I'll see you guys up on a little time lapse. We'll start chopping this down. It's nice and quick at this point now that we've got the trellis out. Alright, now that we have that harvested, we're going to turn it all off. We're going to get a root ball out, get all that cleaned up. We're just hanging in the tent. We went off the clips where the driver mounts to this light, just because I didn't want to spread it too much. And then on this side, we just put it in between the fins of the heatsink. And we did move the light fan down so we're not directly on it. So at this stage, we're going to close this up. And we're going to start taking this apart. We will open it up again to get this in here. Probably just going to lay it maybe on the ground or on top of that box over there once we get it all down. But yeah, we'll bring you guys back here as this is drying, maybe on Tuesday. I'll see what day. I'm gonna have a mid day off in the middle of the next week, so we're gonna see when I can come in to show this. But we're gonna be taking this down the following Sunday, so this is gonna be up for about 10 days. Hopefully it'll be good by then. If not, we have the Monday off as well, but I just want to try to get it done. Almost forgot, I always do show you guys kind of the root ball inside the Airpots as it forms. Ooh, we dried this lady out a little bit. And we have a nice overall structure. In the bigger tent, we get a huge white structure just because the plants get a little bigger. And that's not so bad. We're looking good. All right. I'll bring you guys back in a few days and we can check on the dry. All right, we're here Friday. So our plant is not ready to come down yet, the last strawberry Gary. So we're going to allow that to dry a little bit. You see everything's kind of crowded in here. We're gonna set that 2x4 back up on the other side now that we have that oil tank out of the space. and we're gonna move all of our drying stuff to that tent so it's out of the way, and we can get this tent ready for the other run coming up in the main stage. So I just wanted to come in here and let you know that we actually brought buckets to bucket up today, but we are not going to do so. We are going to wait because she is not ready yet. All right, we are set up, ready to go. We got into the main tent for now. We haven't connected the last little bit, but we are set up. We're just gonna close up our tent now and let these dry. And once we're done this, then we're gonna reset this tent and get all that ready. But I want this to dry first before we do that. I'll bring you guys back here in a couple days when we buck this up. It's close, but it's just not there. Yeah, it's just not there quite yet. So, and it's only been hanging for 7 days, 8 days now, so a couple more, definitely a few more days will be good. All right, so we are here on Sunday, so it's been a couple of days, especially with having the setup all back on, and we're just heating this tent out. This is literally at 90 degrees right now, so our tent on this side is more in like we're in the lower 70s in this tent. So we want to make sure that we move this now to a bucket, and we're going to take this to our place to trim up. Everything is ready to go. We have that crunch now when you feel them. So we are ready. So we're going to buck this up, get it into the bucket, and if we have time, because we have a limited amount of time today, I'm trying to get this done in between doing a couple things. I want to get this whole tent kind of bleached down and ready, so it's out of our way, it's totally done. That's the plan. So I'll see you guys here in a minute. Alright, so we got a fair bit. As you notice, I was kind of just cutting sticks too as we went, just as long as they fit. We fit to one bucket. I am in a little bit of a hurry today. I have something I got to be at in about 25 minutes. I want to get enough time to get this kind of cleaned out and everything before I leave, just so I don't have to worry about it, and I can just come here with plants on next weekend and fill this at the same time as not even have to worry about this tent, right? So just wanted to come and show you where we're at, and we're just going to now, we're going to clean out the rack with ISO, get all that nice and fresh, and then we're going to bleach the shit out of the whole tent, and then vacuum out the base and get that nice and ready. Alright, we're here to do the weigh-in for that second strawberry Gary, the one that we grew in the 2x4. We're looking really nice. So we're going to turn this on and remove the bag. You see it's at minus 71 right now. I'm just going to fill this bag up and be right back. Alright, so let's see what we got. We got 154 grams. We got more on this one than we did in the smaller tent, which is to be, it's kind of obvious because the other tent was a little bit smaller. But I'm pretty happy with this because we did smoke the rest of the other one already, and it was really tasty. So I'm looking forward to smoking some of this again. We're gonna let it sit for a little bit first, but we are gonna do a smoke test on the rosin. So I'm gonna make some rosin. We're gonna go ahead and do that, and of course we're gonna have a little close-up so you guys can see right here what this looks like. So we'll get all this back together again, and we'll press a little bit of rosin today. Alright, so we have a little bit of weeby pulled out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're about basically 8.5 grams of the strawberry Gary, and we're gonna bust that up and we're gonna pack that into a 90 micron bag, and we're gonna squeeze that and see what we get. Alright, now that we're at this part, we have our press heating up. We also have our so we're just in the pre-press mold just to make sure that we're staying consistent on the shape. We are going to do a directional flow just so it comes out the front and out instead of out the sides, and we're going to set that up and get you into the press. I'll see you guys here in a second. Alright, from this port, we're just going to have it kind of sit in between the plates and heat up a little bit. Once we get a little bit of pressure on it, that beat means we're at that right mark. So we're just going to let that kind of heat up for a little bit before we go down to town on it. Now that we're getting a little lower and closer to the bottom, we can start applying a little bit of pressure. You see it starting right there. Really good color, actually. Especially for dried flour. That beeping is the alarm. Now that it's been a total amount of time, we can just come down with the pressure. And we got some drip. She's looking really nice. I'm looking forward to trying this one out. And there we go. We did blow out a little bit out the back. Wasn't much. I don't even actually think it was a blowout. It was just more or less rosin kind of shooting out the back. Actually, yeah. We didn't blow out. It was just the seam broke here and here, so we had a little bit come out the back. So that's not so bad. It's better than a blowout. When you get a blowout, you lose a lot of pressure. So that's why we were continuously getting that drip. So let's collect this up, put it in a little jar, and we'll do a little taste test. Alright, so we did account for 92 grams. All these coming in and not. But there is some more on this paper, but it's quite hard for me to try to remove it, especially off of the directional flow bag. So, but we're doing alright. I'm still happy with that. We put in 8.5 and we got out 0.93, so better than 10%. Let's give this stuff a little bit of a try. Alright, so we're going to do the smoke test on the flour rosin for the strawberry Gary. Smelling pretty good. Nice little gooey one right there. Be blurry on your side though. Now because it's flour rosin, I'm not going to use one of my nicer bangers. Actually, the control tower I have, I won't use. I'll use that more for live rosin. I'm just going to use my regular shatter banger for this. That's quite nice and smells really good. Hey, you can pick up a little gas and a little bit of that little strawberry and a little gas on that actually. So it's kind of nice. You get both sides. Now I've already smoked the other flour that we got in that 2x2, and this tastes just like the flour does off of that, just a little stronger and a little more concentrated. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this seed to harvest. We are going to end it here, and this was kind of a fun one because we did it over 2 different tents. This is also going to be the last seed to harvest for a little bit of my channel, as we're going to be running it down just to the big tent and the small tent on a perpetual grow system on those grows that are every 3 weeks. So you may see some seed to harvest come up. I might be doing when we do the grow along and when we do the grow off coming up this winter. Those 2 might be seed to harvest runs, so stay tuned, and those are going to come, and I'll see you guys on the next one.